on you. We will start with Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, I know you talked about how you really like your guys' work ethic throughout training camp and everything. How do you feel about their readiness and preparation in the days leading up and today heading into tonight's opening night game?
I mean, I love our attitude, and I like the work that the guys have put in. We're just I mean, compared to a normal regular season, I would say, we're in pretty good shape, not great shape. And guys are slowly getting their rhythm, but it's going to take a little bit more time. I think this has been a little bit more difficult than the bubble, actually, from the standpoint of the different testing and we're still making adjustments in some of that, shoot arounds, walkthroughs, things like that.
Michael Pina.
Hi, Coach. You guys have had some of the most continuity in the NBA over the past 3 seasons. You've obviously added a couple new pieces this year, but generally speaking, how does that help you in such a compressed season to have so many guys who you've been with for so long?
Well, I mean, we're hoping it's going to be a big advantage. I mean, we're like most teams. I would say, 80 to 85% of what we're doing at both ends of the floor is consistent with what we did last year. And, we've had, like you said, we've had this core of guys, for really 2 years. I mean, we'll start 4 of the 5 guys tonight that started the majority of our games last year. So, and we have one thing is a big advantage, a big strength of our team. We have guys are very smart. They pick things up quickly. When we're right, our execution is very good. So I'm hopeful it's going to be a big advantage for us.
Christos Saltis.
Hello, Coach, and have a good season. I would like to ask you, how strange is that feeling you're going to play in empty arena?
Yeah, it's been different. That's why I'm glad we had the 4 exhibition games for the guys to get a little bit acclimated. It's definitely different. I think our experience in the bubble helps that way also, where that was a very, the league did a great job with the atmosphere there, but that was obviously different than what these guys are used to doing also.
Thank you.
Alex Fleming.
How you doing, Coach Clifford?
Good. How you doing, Alex?
Not too bad, sir. With the new additions on the roster, and as you already explained earlier, this team has continuity. A lot of the guys on the team have been with each other for some time. So what should we expect tonight? A defensive team that wants to go down the middle, fast breaks, or a team that's going to beat you down low, get rebounds, and shoot threes? What should we expect?
Yeah, well, we're the one thing we've really worked on in training camp here is we started playing at a quicker pace last year after the All-Star break, and it helped us a lot offensively. We tried to do the same thing in the bubble, and we're playing quicker now, actually much quicker by the numbers than we did last year. So we want to play with a quicker pace. I think that it may hurt our defense a little bit, but I don't think significantly. But we've got to find a way to get into the top 15 offensively. And I think by doing that, it gives us a good chance.
Aaron Goldstone.
Thank you. Coach, you've, of course, gone through many opening nights in the NBA as an assistant coach and as a head coach, and this one is certainly different. But, are you feeling some of those same opening night, emotions and kind of just talk about, coaching a team with a clean slate and starting a new chapter?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's for everybody. It's interesting. You could sense yesterday in practice, even though they're NBA players and guys that have played, a lot of games in this league, you could sense the excitement from the team, and it's always that way. Guys, I don't think they mind training camp, but they like it when the games start. And the same thing this morning in the shoot around where there was a good energy level and you could tell guys were excited to play. So I always like that dynamic. And then, you know, really as a coach, I mean, your goal is, you know, they say be the, you know, sometimes they'll say, you know, you need to be the right coach for that team. And Brendan Malone used to say, the great Brendan Malone, who I worked with here, used to say, you know, Steve, if you think about it, what you have to try to do is you have to do that every year. You know, even if you have the same guys back, guys are in different places. The world right now, obviously, is in a crazy place. And so I think the coaching challenge is to, you know, get the buy-in and connect with the players the way you need to. You can never take for granted. It's like any other kind of relationship. It either improves or it gets worse. So I think those are always the biggest challenges every year.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, how do you begin tonight's game? And are there any people who will not be available who are a surprise?
No, we'll start the same way. Markel, Evan, Dwayne, AG, and Vooch. And, you know, basically the same guys will be, you know, will play tonight that have played in the last couple exhibition games.
Dan Savage.
Steve, I know you've talked a lot about how Dwayne, the skill set he brings to the table. How do you feel he's fit in with that starting group and meshed in with those players in particular?
I think fairly well. I mean, I think he's, you know, I think he's very conscious of, you know, I think your word is right on, is fitting in. And I think he's played really well defensively. I think he's finding his spots offensively, which will continue to come as he gets more comfortable. But I thought, you know, like in that last game, you know, was really his best game, and he didn't score much. But I actually watched film with him myself, and, you know, he did a lot of good things, particularly at the defensive end of the floor.
Dan, back to you.
Cliff, obviously under normal circumstances, you know, for an opening night, you'd have spent, you know, a considerable amount of time just on Miami and the things that they do. How tough was that balance of preparing for them and still, you know, focusing on the elements you needed to get ready for with a shortened training camp and preseason?
Yeah, that's always the question, you know, is, you know, what are you going to spend your time on? You know, we've had 2 days in a walkthrough. Steve Hetzel did the game plan, and we actually spent time on each day, you know, on different parts of Miami. They have so many different aspects of offense that you have to be able to deal with. So we did spend a lot of time on them and tried to make it, you know, as you can tell, you know, some of the things you can do where you can both work on what the opponents are going to do while still working on your basic concepts and principles. So we try to do it that way.
Any final questions for Coach? Okay, great. Thanks, Coach.